Formulas in Excel. We'll start by looking at counting formulas. Simple count formulas that just tell you how many numbers you have in a data set, or ones that look at how many spaces you have, even if there isn't a specific number that's there. But most of the benefit of the counting formulas are using COUNTIF or COUNTIFs, where you can count for a specific criteria. So if you have hundreds of data points and you want to pull out specific age range or a specific number in a range, the COUNTIFs formula here is best used for generating automated frequency tables. So you're counting the frequency of every number that's greater than or equal to 1 or less than or equal to 15, and then you can graph from there. There's some more complicated different functions like if, and, or, and these tend to be used more for doing some coding or database work where you're looking at a database that has different things like age, gender, true or false statements from a survey, yes, no questions. And this allows you to count if very specific criteria and then to put a word in that might describe that. And so with the example of the AND function, you could go in and click and say, if this is true and this statement is false, then this is the situation that I have. Sometimes this is better achieved by just using a table sort feature and having your data sorted by age first or sorted by gender, and then being able to just look at the different values that are true and false from there. The OR function allows you to say if one thing is true or the other is true. So you have that situation of perhaps independent events where you only need one criteria to be true in order for this situation to be flagged. Again, possible to do it through data sorting of the table, but pause at any point in these videos and be able to look at the formula for setting up these situations. Rounding formulas are excellent. You simply click on the number after you've hit round, and then you use the comma and put in the criteria of how many decimal places you want, 1 or 2 decimals, etc. Concatenate is one of my favorite formulas because concatenate means to combine text or a title in with the formula. And normally you would have to have like a little merged title separately and then the formula underneath. So in this case, we want to know how many students are in the data set. So we're using concatenate n is equal to give that label using the count formula. And you'll see that as you delete different points out of the data set, it automatically changes it. VLOOKUP is a much more complicated and powerful way of looking up specific information. Notice that you have to go through this process, so pause the video and try to set this up as you go. But as you're putting in different criteria, it's searching your data set and looking just for that value. So for example, with going through all the different concatenate values, you're going to click on each criteria that you want. And then as you go and put those options in and type in a student's name, all of their data gets drawn up to the top of the spreadsheet. And so you'll see as a new name is put in how that changes. Last part here, R values correlations, really key for scatter plots and for 2 variable stats. And each number has a description associated with it. So you can automatically set that up so that these descriptions show up automatically with the numbers.